In the past, film director and actor Spike Lee has encountered and created no shortage of controversy. His most recent comments about Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney, it seems, could add to his drama roster. In an interview with Vulture, which I read or watch all the time, anyway.
Or which one do you do?
Or listen to.
Or listen to.
Which one do you?
Or download.
Specifically with Vulture, though, which one do you do?
I like to do many of those things. Or specifically one, if that's the only way to.
It's kind of a weird way to put it when it's something that you're obviously fond of.
Oh my gosh.
You know.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
subscribe or tune in or read or Vulture
or pick up off the driveway?
I mean, who doesn't?
Or whatever
really
it is.
It's Vulture.
Yeah, I know.
It's fantastic.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, he tells in a recent interview with Vulture magazine or channel, he says that he believes the presidential election, quote, will be very, very, very close. But that Romney's Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints membership could impact him at the polls. The few questions and answers during that he made to the comments as published by Vulture.
So you read it.
I read it.
You read it.
Of course I read it.
I mean, duh.
What did you think?
I thought either you read or listened to it or watched it.
Sometimes sometimes somebody will read it, to me.
And you'll listen.
And I'll listen. That's what I meant.
All right. Yeah.
I didn't mean that it was the radio or
when the blindness thing is acting up, somebody reads it to you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway, it's published in Vulture as I was reading. He says, how do you think President Obama is doing? That's Vulture asking that. And
which one of the writers from Vulture was
one of the really good ones?
Yeah, which one?
One of the better.
It's hard for me to distinguish the writers
because you love them all so much.
I love them all, and I don't want to hold one out over the others.
You specifically did say that it was one of the better ones, so you had already done that.
Yeah, but I don't want to be specific. Anyway, so one of the better writers. Now they would know which one because they know
their names on the article that you read.
I'm going to be honest. Then I'm going to have to say I didn't read it, just so I don't make that writer feel bad. Anyway, how's President Obama doing? He says, I support him. My wife and I gave a benefit for him at our house. But I think this election is going to be close. Bottom line is there are many people in America who look at themselves and say, am I better now than I was before? It's going to be tooth and nail, and I think it's going to get nasty. But in my opinion, if they are trying to bring up Reverend Jeremiah Wright again, they're really reaching. I hope and pray that people are not going to go for the Willie Horton okey doke.
Oh.
What's wrong with the Willie Horton thing, Stu?
Willie Horton was a criminal, a murderer that was released because they were letting convicted murderers go away for the weekend from prison.
What about his okey doke, though?
That is a legitimate policy to criticize.
Well, but nothing happened with Willie Horton.
No, with the only exception of that he also committed more crimes once he left.
He did. Was that his okey doke?
The murder was the okey doke. I think the murder itself was the okey.
Okay.
And then the fact that they let him out for the weekend and he did it again was the doke.
I happen to have somebody who would testify for Willie Horton on his behalf in my hand right now.
Yeah.
And he's totally cool with it.
Seems to be a skull in your hand.
Anyway, let's move on. Back to